Hey everyone. So if you're a young creative right now, wow, what a time to be starting out. You're basically stepping into this world that is just buzzing with new tech, incredible new tools, and, let's be honest, a whole lot of new questions. It's exciting, for sure, maybe a little overwhelming, but it is absolutely packed with opportunity. Okay, let's dive in and figure out how you can really thrive in all of this.
So yeah, this is the question, right? We're all seeing AI generate these unbelievable images, write music, create text. It's kind of mind-blowing. So where does that leave you, the human creator? Well, the good news is it leaves you right where you've always been, at the very center of everything. This whole explainer is about how you, the human, are still the most important part of the creative equation. Actually, now more than ever.
All right, so part one. Before we even get into any of the cool new apps or AI tools, we've got to talk about the foundation. Seriously. In a world that's changing this fast, the most timeless skills, they become your secret weapon. Your superpower, really. And the first one, you got to learn to think like a creative detective.
Okay, so what does that even mean? Observational skills. It sounds kind of basic, but it's probably the most powerful tool you have. Every great creative project, every single one, starts with someone noticing something that everybody else just walks right by. It's the difference between just seeing the world and truly looking at it. That deep observation, that's the raw material that fuels all your creative work, whether you're using a paintbrush or a text prompt.
So let's break that down. How does a creative detective actually work? It's a pretty simple three-step process. First, you're gathering evidence. You're just observing. Maybe you're watching how people struggle with a new app. Then, you start to identify patterns. You see, hey, everyone's getting stuck at this one spot. And finally, you build your case. You pull all those observations together, you synthesize them, to come up with a brilliant solution. It's a framework you can use for pretty much anything.
Okay, part two. You've got your detective skills locked down. Now it's time to get strategic. Because let's be real, it's not enough to just make cool stuff. You have to figure out how to make your cool stuff stand out from the crowd. We're talking about finding your market niche.
And this is such a crucial distinction to make. Are you following a trend or are you spotting a real opportunity? Think about it. When you're just chasing trends, you're always playing catch-up, right? You're jumping into these really crowded spaces where it's super hard to get noticed. But when you learn to spot an opportunity, well, that's about looking where nobody else is looking. It's about anticipating what's coming next and finding that unique corner of the market where you can really shine.
So you might be asking, okay, where are these opportunities? Well, they're everywhere if you know where to look. Check out some of these emerging areas. You've got things like hybrid crafting, which is this awesome mashup of digital and physical stuff. Think using a 3D printer to make custom parts for handmade furniture. Or look at all the new digital media formats and super specific online communities popping up. These are the places where the next big thing is going to happen. Your niche could be right there, just waiting for you.
All right, part three. This is where it all comes together. You've got the skills, you've found your strategic angle. Now for the big one. How do you actually show people what you can do? Let's talk about building a killer portfolio for the AI age. Listen, this is so important. Please don't think of your portfolio as just a collection of your greatest hits. It's so much more than that. It is your professional story. It needs to tell someone, a potential employer, a client, anyone, who you are, what makes you tick, and why you're the one they need. It's the story of you as a creative, told visually.
And for that story to land, you have to nail the basics. Seriously, these are the absolute must-haves, the non-negotiables. Clear navigation, amazing high-quality visuals, project descriptions that are short and sweet, and for goodness sakes, make your contact info easy to find. Get this stuff right, and people can focus on your actual work, not get frustrated trying to figure out your website.
Okay, but there's a big but, isn't there? What about all that stuff you've been making with AI? This is the question I get all the time. Can you put it in your portfolio? Should you? How does that fit into your professional story?
The answer is yes, absolutely. But, and this is a really important but, you have to do it responsibly. This is the new standard of professionalism. It's not about hiding what tools you use. It's about being upfront and honest about how you create.
So how do you do that? It's actually pretty straightforward. 1. Be transparent. Just label it. Put a little note saying, this piece was AI assisted. Simple. 2. Explain your process. Talk about your idea, the creative direction you gave, maybe even the kinds of prompts you used. And 3, and this is the most important one, highlight your contribution.
Focus on the human element, the idea, the taste, the editing, the critical eye, all the things that you brought to the table to guide that tool to get the final result.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We've covered a ton of ground here, right? We've talked about thinking like a detective, finding your strategic spot in the world, and building a modern portfolio. Let's just tie it all together and look at what this all means for your creative future.
I mean, this quote just nails it. The technology, it's just a tool. The apps, the software, the AI models, they're all going to change. The software you're using today will probably be different in a couple of years. But your unique creative voice, your critical mind, that is your real asset. That's the thing that no one and no machine can ever replicate.
So look, if you take away just one thing today, please let it be this. Double down on those foundational skills, that detective mindset. Use that to find your unique niche where you can really make an impact. And then build a portfolio that tells the incredible story of who you are as a creator. That's the game plan.
Honestly, there has never been a more exciting time to be a creative. The tools are getting more and more powerful, more accessible. The old rulebooks are being thrown out. So really, it all comes down to the same question it always has. The tools are new. What story are you going to tell?